Thank you very much, Charles. Let me start by thanking Athena for organizing this important kind of seminar to enlighten people and speak honestly on the way forward in terms of reforms and the electoral process in this country. Let me also use this opportunity to thank you and bring you greetings from the good people of Zamfara State. Now, this kind of conversation is important and it's timely. Why did I say that? We are in the process of conducting election. Apart from the state elections, the general election is just around the corner within the next, or around the next 17 months to come. So it's important to have this kind of dialogue because that will be the way to shape the future of this country through the electoral process. Now, INEC as a body, they came up with a very interesting process, moving away from the archaic way of doing things into embracing technology, which is the use of beavers. It's a very, very good innovation. And we believe if we fine-tune it to reflect the reality, it will be the way forward in terms of managing manipulation of the electoral process. Now, for me, as a leader, first, leaders must take responsibility because that is why we're leaders and that is why we're elected, to lead the people. And what we need to do is to have a framework where this thing can be streamlined, as well as legislative process that will hold people accountable for whatever they do as far as leadership is concerned.
Indeed.
That's one. Two, with this technology, which is the way forward all over the country, all over the world, look at places like India, with a population of over 1 billion people. Look at Brazil. Look at Estonia. Look at what just happened in Ghana. A very seamless process where manipulation was managed to a greater extent. And for us as a nation, this should be the way forward in order to have a very transparent, responsible democracy.
But why do you think it's been impossible to manage that?
Charles, now, from the little things that we saw in the process of election, there seems to be a gap between beavers and IRFs. And for me, going forward, and I'm happy the INEC representatives are here, let there be a proper integration of beavers as well as IRF. Now, let it be online real time. As you're doing accreditation, and then the voting process starts, whatever is dropping on the beavers should also reflect on the IRF. Now, for us to do that, infrastructure is key to solving this problem because we're talking about technology, we're talking about network. Now, understand the critical infrastructure in order to make this thing seamless, which is key. Now, I don't know what INEC has in place in terms of making sure connectivity is key, because that is the only way we can have a seamless integration between beavers and IREP. That is one. Two, let us try to build institutions rather than building individuals, because individuals come and go, but institutions come to stay. Look at what is happening in the United States with all the political issues here and there. But the fact that there's an established institution, it makes it difficult for any form of manipulation. That is one. Two, rule of law, Charles. So long as there is no rule of law, no matter what we do here, no matter what we discuss here, it is absolutely nothing. And therefore, we as leaders and as people, we need to emphasize on the rule of law. That is the only way. Three, for everything to work, let us also remember the security architecture of this country. Security is key to whatever you do, to whatever we're going to do, because what politicians do, they realize the importance of security and they use security to intimidate people for their own selfish interest. So long as that is not addressed, it is a fundamental error and nothing can be done and we will not move forward. So for me, this kind of forum is important, and I know the role they play during the 2023 election in terms of adequate information, minute by minute, as what is happening in various polling units in different states of the country. And they did very well. We need to have people like them so as to hold people accountable, because everything we do without accountability, without rule of law, it is equals to nothing. So for me, Charles, this should be the way forward. This should be, let's design the framework, a workable framework that will make this process seamless, transparent, and accountable.
Governor, thank you very much indeed. That's a brilliant contribution. Let me come to you, Chief Arebeso.
Thank you very much, Charles. And let me apologize to the audience. I have a flight to catch up by 1 o'clock. That is why I'm in a hurry to leave. Otherwise, this is a very, very important conversation that we need to take forward. Now, let me say this in my closing remarks. Gentlemen and ladies that are here, we are all Nigerians. We know the problems. And nobody will solve this problem but ourselves. Let us not be afraid to speak. The future of this country depends on us. It is an opportunity now. We're seeing situations in the country and we need to be bold enough to speak the truth. There is no amount of intimidation that should silence anybody. I'm happy I've seen the likes of Buba Gladima is here, Osaro is here, and few people that are always vocal to speak on behalf of Nigerians. Therefore, please, let us speak. Where there are problems, let's identify these problems and let's blow these problems. This is the only way forward. If we continue to stay in isolation, in our little corners, it will not take us anywhere. The future of this country depends on us. We are leaders. We are elected to serve the people, and we must serve the people the way they deserve to be served. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much indeed. A big round of honor to have had you here.
You,
thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you.
The event is obviously not over. We've got about 10 more minutes or so of this plenary session. And let me come to you, Chief Osita Chidoka, because you are in fact a chief. So